There you go.
We're here with Pittsburgh sludge metal legends, Dream Death, of course, and I'd just like to ask him some questions. We're here with Brian. Nice to meet you. Mike. Rich. All right. Dream Death started in '85. With the three original members being Brian, Mike, and Ted.
Yep, that's right.
Okay, and then you recorded your first demo, the Dream Death demo. And then Terry was out of town.
Yeah, he came along right before we did the album.
End of story. What, how did you meet him?
We met him standing in line at a Trouble concert. The Skull Tour.
And then, but I guess I should backtrack and say, how did the original three members meet? I mean, did you meet in high school, or?
He and I have been best friends since neighbors.
Grade school or something?
Yeah, since we were born, really. And then we were looking for a bass player, put an ad in. Or no, actually,
it was Sue Rupert. We used to go to school with this girl. She ended up going to the Art Institute and ended up being like Ted's girlfriend. So we knew her, and then somehow that's how that
was the bridge.
Yeah.
Back then,
we needed a bass player.
What grade was it? You were still in high school when you started Dream Death?
Oh yeah.
I was out.
You were probably just graduated because you're like 2 years ahead of me.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And then with the four-piece members, you went on to record your more Graveyard Delving demo.
Actually, Terry wasn't on that one. It was still a three-piece.
That was right when he was coming.
He was coming in.
Then he came in right before the album.
Yeah.
Well, that was with us like Doom Watch.
Right after that.
We were playing like in Doom Watch, and then they needed a bass player, and Terry played guitar. And since we already had Ted the band or whatever, we kind of hooked Terry up with like Dan and Jeff. And then once we kind of kept going a little bit, Terry still always wanted to play guitar, so then we ended up jump ship and like kind of come with us and play guitar.
At that point, did he quit Doom Watch?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He was just kind of filling in for them because they needed a bass player, and there wasn't that many people around in the metal scene at that point, or at least none that we really knew of. So it was just
Bass players were impossible.
yeah, that's always the hardest thing to find. So he was just kind of filling in, and then it was just like he always still wanted to play guitar, so we just finally ended up jumping ship.
Speaking of that, like when you guys started playing out, of course you played places like Electric Banana, etc. What were the other? Obviously, there's so many classic bands from that era, the mid '80s to late '80s, like Eviction, Doom Watch, Necropolis, etc. Did you guys get to play with all those bands and pick up friends with them?
That was the whole circle. It was with the Banana.
Half-Life, etc.
Parties at Ted's house.
It was more of a punk scene than it was a metal scene.
Yeah, really.
Pittsburgh's always been more like a punk town than it was a metal town.
Yeah. Well, I do recall hearing the stories about like when Waddy would stay with Half-Life and when
Half-Life was like the big deal, and they were always the top dog.
So you guys have a new album out. It's called Somnium Excessum. I just asked, what does that mean? Excessive sleep?
Dream Death in Latin.
Oh, okay, I understand.
It's kind of we actually don't know if that's the proper.
You got like an essay there.
Wow. Oh yeah. You guys will be playing Roadburn this April in Holland. That gotta be. Have you? Any of you guys ever been to Europe before?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. So at some point Ted leads the band and Rich joins, and you guys played. How many gigs do you play as Dream Death after Ted left?
Well, a decent amount. I mean, numbers escape me at this point, but it's like
we did one final demo. Over Sorrow and Riches on that one.
Well, real quick before I forget, do we got to pay them parking meters out there? I'm just thinking about it. Really?
Yeah, but they might not check it later.
Everybody,
some people were saying after 6 it's okay, I guess.
All right, sorry, man.
Maybe you should.
Let's see.
There, put that on the internet.
So-
Smells a cheap bastard. You don't want to get towed.
Well, Mike, what was your experience playing with Cathedral in '91?
That was cool. I mean, it was more I recorded the record. I didn't like tour with them or anything. Outside of when, Penance toured with Sleep and Cathedral during the, our first record.
Road less traveled.
Yeah. But I mean, as far as Cathedral goes, I mean, the only time I really played live with them outside of, what was it, the last show in London when we did that tour, I played like one song with them, but we had never played live before until Cathedral flew me over, what was it, two Christmases ago or whatever now, I guess, for their 20th anniversary or whatnot. So.
And just ask, these other bands you play with, like Under the Sun, Eternal Void, and Pentagram, could you talk to me a bit about that? What was your experience with those bands?
What was it again?
I'm sorry,
Void,
Under the Sun, Eternal Void, and Pentagram.
Well, Under the Sun was the last incarnation. It was basically me, and I don't even want to say it was necessarily band, although it was more of like, I guess it would be considered a project. Dave Roman, who was one of the last. See, Penance ended up going through all these. It's like Deep Purple, Mark 1, Mark 2, Mark 3, Mark 4. So that he was after Terry had left. I got Dave to fill in for Terry once he quit, and then we did that last European tour, and me and him just kind of put that stuff together. As far as Void goes, that was when Penance kind of finally dissolved or whatever. I joined Eternal Void for a while and kind of pulling double duty down there, and then amongst that, then we got the kind of opportunity to.
Shoulder first into it.
Yeah.
Hi.
We kind of got the opportunity to do the hey, Paul, what are you doing? Recording this. Get doofus. We got the opportunity to do the stuff with Bob there, and and that kind of ended up being a bad thing, as everybody knows.
Can you talk about the Penance tour when you toured on your first album in Europe? What was that experience like?
Well, it was great. I mean,
What bands were you touring with?
It was Sleep and Cathedral.
Oh,
So, Sleep just
big
put out
crowds
the
or?
Yes and no. I mean, some there was, and then there was a couple, like certain legs in the tour where we hooked up with other, it was like, because I think they were on Earache, I guess, or something like that. So yeah, it ended up being like Cannibal Corpse and Fear Factory and something else. And then the one time we didn't even play that one show. It was in, I guess, what used to be Yugoslavia or some shit or whatever, where it was like an actual arena. It was kind of crazy because it was the first rock concert they had ever had. And you thought the Beatles were playing or something. It was great.
Yes. It's not written here, but I was going to ask you, the line, it takes two to tango, where did that come from?
It's him being a dick.
Okay. When you released Journey into Mystery, I mean, what was that experience like for you? I mean, you guys, at that point, you never got the tour. I mean, you mostly played in the Pittsburgh area?
Yeah, it would just be one-off shows.
Like Cleveland or Baltimore and stuff. Kind of around.
Did the label not support you?
That label sucks and I hate
I
it.
do recall I saw you guys in '87, I think back in it was called like the day of whatever, metal or something. You were like Indestructible or something.
Or was that City Limits or something?
City Limits, yeah.
Yeah, that was the other place everybody would play. City Limits, the Banana.
Let's see what else I have. Oh, well, recently, what's it called? Savart Records? You released your demos on a double gatefold vinyl.
Yeah, Psychedelic did. Hooked up with Mark on the last European tour with Penance tour with Org Ruin. I don't even know what year that was. 2003 or 4 or something like that. And I ended up, he expressed some interest like at that point. I mean, Dream Death was pretty much a done entity and had been for a while, so I was just kind of looking at it as more like free publicity or to get some stuff out that, like, okay, they were never out on like CD or
I'll
proper.
say, actually in this book right here, I had that album. I guess for the sake of the interview, I'll bring it up. But,
Well, then I hooked up with Smart. That came around. The one guy from Miskatonic was supposed to do it, and then for whatever reason it never happened.
Fuck out there, look at that shit. That's really sweet. Beautiful record.
If you were a real fan, you'd have it.
I'm not a real fan.
Anyway, I mean, of course, the dream,
PBR.
being from the Pittsburgh area, I think it's amazing or justified that the Dream Death demos and the album has become such a worldwide is regarded as a timeless masterpiece. You know?
I wouldn't go that far, but I mean, I understand what you're saying. It is kind of crazy.
Wow. Write that down, see?
I was going to ask about this song, Hell on Wheels, or some release track. The song, what is that?
Hell on Wheels.
That's when we did the first demo. To try to get used to the recording equipment. We had that old song. It wasn't ever meant to be a Dream Death song. That was just like trying out the recorder. And so, is it on there?
Yeah, it's a bonus song.
See, I don't even know what it's on. It's probably like when we were more into Judas
More like
Priest
Priest
or something.
Yeah, stuff like that or something.
Alright. And I was going to ask you, not to bring up maybe a bad subject, but somewhere around 93, 94, Brian and Rich leave Penance, and these other two fellas come in to fill your spot. I mean, would you mind commenting on that? Why you left? Or at this point, is it like a moot point?
It's a good point. Yeah. You know,
I mean, if you don't want to talk about it, that's fine.
no, that's fine. You know, I was
It's no major story. It's just after a while you know you become disillusioned or lose interest or whatever.
yeah, I pretty much retired from the music business at that point.
Okay. And Mike, you have your drum shop in Catania. How's that going for you?
The boss is pretty cool.
Oh, you don't run it?
What's the name of it?
Oh, okay.
Smail's custom.
Smells Custom.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you guys, obviously you guys starting in '85, towards the end, I think the last Dream Death show, quote unquote, was in '89. But the new wave of bands like my band, Hideous, Mangleus, Rochemore, Dercada, etc. When these bands started to come out, what did you guys think of that like new wave of like death metal or however it's called? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, it's cool. Yeah, I mean,
Kind of lose
I remember you not to say you like it.
no, I didn't realize you were in that band. Actually, I remember you guys. Yeah, you guys were cool. I definitely remember that.
Thanks.
Yeah.
But,
That wasn't so long after us. That wasn't.
no, a couple years, 2 years maybe, but anyway,
So
I guess
you're older than we think you are.
43, yeah. Anyway, guys, I appreciate
thank
you
you.
spending a minute.
thanks a
I hope that the fans from around the world, this will be their opportunity to meet with Dream Death because, as I was
Probably a
saying,
bad thing.
as I was saying
nobody wants to see
earlier
much
to
older.
Brian, it was like, you know, it's one thing to hear the fucking record and listen to it over and over again. Like, it takes two to tango, and I walk the fucking stairwell, and day turns into night. You know, it's like such a classic fucking record. But nobody knows who the guys are. So my point of doing the interview in the fucking stairwell is just the guy from Argentina that thinks what I think of Dream Death is a fucking classic, timeless band. This will be his chance to like meet you guys. So.
Man, I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
thank you for
Thank you so much.
Thanks. Look forward to the show. Hopefully we'll be on the internet. God bless, guys.
Thank you, man.
Thanks.
Thank you.